I don't think that my oncology team that has worked very hard to help save my life over this past year and a half accepts concepts of a plan for payment.
Are you going to extend those subsidies?
I'd rather not. I'd rather not extend them at all. When we're looking at different alternatives, I mean, I like my plan the best.
We've been hearing this for years, that they have plans, they're going to make changes, and then it's down to the wire, and they just say, oh, well, good luck. My name is Teresa Hebert. I am 55 years old. I have been a property manager for 25 years. Currently, our ownership right now does not provide insurance. So I had actually been without insurance for a couple of years from the previous ownership. And I kept saying, I need to get insurance. And then I found a lump in July of 2024. And I was like, that's not supposed to be there. I need to go get this checked out. And so my boss was like, what do you need? And I was like, well, I need insurance. So he hooked me up with his broker through Marketplace. That's where we started. And I started treatment in October of 2024. My subsidy is still $250. Well, up until 2 weeks from now. My portion of that is $581. And that is really going up come January 1st. So my deductible was only $500 and my out-of-pocket was $7,000. That same plan is going to be $1,091 with $1,000 deductible and a $7,500 out-of-pocket. The sticker shock is giving me more anxiety than the cancer did. It's terrible.
Do you feel like lawmakers in Washington understand how this is going to affect everyday people?
I don't. And I think it's a willful ignorance on their part, because other elected officials have stood up there and said, my constituent, Joe Smith, is dealing with this. This is what Joe Smith said. And so many of them have done that. And it seems like the Republicans just don't care. The bottom line is, it's not a political issue. This is a human issue. We have so many people that are going to be hurting on this, me included. I was really hoping that somebody would have enough sense to look around America and see that people are struggling already and not put that additional burden on millions and millions of Americans.
Wow. So a lot there, right? So should the government keep subsidies to pay for these plans? And that was like a really real story. What's your take on that?
So subsidies didn't go away. That is a very common misconception. People think that they just ripped the rug out. They didn't. It was the enhanced subsidies that went away, which I am not political. I think I'm pretty apolitical, but I do. And so I like different things on both sides of the line. I do think that those enhanced subsidies should have gone away. Like, they were there for COVID. The world has been reopened now for years. So to let enhanced premium tax credits that were we had clients that made $200,000 in their household and they were subsidized. That seems wrong to me. So and I think we're just, every day this debt gets bigger. Like, it's in the trillions. I think in the 80s there was no debt, I think. And then now it's in the trillions of dollars. Like, what does that even mean? Yeah. So I think that the subsidies should have gone away, but I think or the enhanced subsidies should have gone away. I think for very low income people, the subsidies are still there. So it's still a thing. I think the people that were disserviced the most with this change was this lady. It was the people in their 50s, 60s, that they have some money. They were getting pretty heavily subsidized because of the COVID relief thing. And then the subsidy was completely taken away because once there's not an enhanced tax credit, they didn't qualify for anything. And so their premiums would go from $800 a month to $2,500 a month. So those are the people that were disserviced the most, I think, which is unfortunate. And I wish that there was a way to fix it. I it takes a smarter person than I don't know what can be done to fix it, but I know that it is broken. But I think that they're kind of two separate issues. I don't know. Was it better when the state actually handled, because like we had the Texas pool, right? Like if you couldn't get coverage elsewhere, you went to the Texas pool. But then you had a lot of providers that didn't participate. You weren't necessarily getting the best coverage. So like, I don't know, man. I don't know what the fix is.
I see a lot of like, there's so much content here about all this stuff. So one, I'm super sorry with that lady that went through that. Like that's super, and I'm hopefully she's doing good now, because that's like, you walk through that, like that's something that's super intense, and like you shouldn't be frustrated or stressed out by your insurance while you're dealing with, you know, this major life thing happening, right? So that's why a lot of plans we put in have supplement plans in there, so you can have money there to pay for your insurance. If your insurance went up to $1,000 a month with a $7,500 max, that's like $15K a year or $20K a year plus. If you had a $100,000 check, that would like totally go away, right? That's why we bundle a lot of times for exactly that reason. But there's a lot here, right? So before Obamacare, you're absolutely right. Like she either got declined, or no one would cover her stuff, or she wouldn't have found the providers she wanted to go, or she would have had to ask her boss to be like, hey, get us a group insurance plan without pre-existing limits. So like that would have put the business in strain. So before Obamacare, like that would have been the road that she would have had to walk down, and it still would have been very, very expensive. It still would have been a super stressful on the, like that wouldn't have solved the money thing. On the subsidy thing, like there was a video of Trump. I think I've seen that clip like 100 times on that plane. I don't think Trump like just lovingly said, I'm gonna do my lovingly said thing here. Whenever I say something intense, I always say lovingly said,
which totally negates it.
It totally negates it.
Yeah.
But with Trump, I feel like he throws out this thing where he's like, yeah, we're gonna do this in 2 weeks. Like there's this really funny Jimmy Kimmel clip. We can post in the background, that'd be great, where he says 2 weeks whenever he says something. And so he thinks everything can be done in 2 weeks. You can't change the whole healthcare system in 2 weeks, okay? You can't like be like, oh, here's a new plan and everything's gonna be good. Like it's really, really intense. And from an insurance standpoint, like we don't work for the carriers, we work for the people, hashtag our audience. But these insurance carriers get kind of wrecked at some level. Like they're forced by the government to have minimum loss ratios. It's different per state, but it's like 75 to 80%.
80-20, yeah.
Yeah, where they're like, hey, carrier, insurance company, every dollar that comes in, 80% has to go out. That's a rough range, but it's a bigger amount. Has to go out in claims, okay? So they're forced, or they get fined by the government. So it's not like there is the theory and conspiracy theory of insurance carriers denying claims, which that is an issue. But they do pay hundreds of millions of dollars in claims. Like it's a lot of money. And for people like this woman, like that's a good thing. Like it's not good thing at cancer, but it's a good thing that there was an option that would pay for it, because cancer is not cheap.
No,
right?
and here's the other part that, you know, she sounds like she's been dealing with this for a while. She was foregoing coverage for a while because there wasn't an employer plan, whatever. But like you have to have coverage before you need it, because if you wait until you get it, nobody's going to give it to you. And I don't think, like, yes, I think that there are so many problems on the side of the insurance company, but I also think the consumer not really understanding or really looking at it from the other vantage point, being devil's advocate on the matter, I think that part of the conversation is really important, right? So like I had a client the other day who was like, well, we're not going to use this. So $600, and they were getting like $2,000 of coverage for like $600, which, because they were subsidized, which is so much money, right? Like I'm paying for their health insurance. You're paying for their health insurance. So like we as taxpayers are paying to get you covered. And they were still not happy with the cost. And they're like, well, we don't really use our plan. I mean, we're going to right now because we have this time off. We're going to go get all of our wellness done. And I'm like, do you understand like what you're saying? Like, I know that you think that
it's just like a mom answer.
Well, like I know you understand, or your belief is, well, wellness is covered. Yeah, it's covered. It's not free. Like somebody's paying for that, right? And I said, you're going to pay $600 for the foreseeable future a month to have this plan, but you're going to hit the insurance company with tens of thousands of dollars of claims right out of the gate. You're going to have a colonoscopy. That's about a $6,000 event. You're going to have a mammogram. That can be upwards of $2,000 depending on what they do, if there's extra stuff. He's going to have his prostate checked. You're both going to have blood work. You're both going to have, like the stuff isn't free. Like somebody's paying for it, right? And so when people will say like, well, that should be covered as part of my plan. And I'm like, you absolutely get what you pay for. In all walks of life, insurance is the same. Like you can choose to have those things included or not. Or like clients who will say, I want something cheaper, so I just want a catastrophic plan. And I'm like, the part that you don't understand is that to have a catastrophic plan oftentimes is more expensive, because what it is the insurance company saying, in the most horrific, expensive thing that could happen in your world, we're going to pay more of the claims. That is what a catastrophic plan is.
The biggest risk. Yeah.
Right. And so because it's such a risk, you're going to pay a higher premium. So I do think that unfortunately some of this is because we don't spend any time educating anybody about any of this stuff. Like as a rule,
school, yeah.
Like when they're coming up, they don't have like like what used to be like home economics, where they would learn all of the things to make a home run. Like that's kind of important, and it's definitely missing. And I think that it's why people are attracted to us as their advisors, is that we do spend a fair amount of our time educating them, because there just are things that people really don't understand about insurance. And I think I could see some of that here. Like the person, the interviewer was asking probing questions, but they were all kind of like, I don't know. To say like Republicans don't care, I feel like that's I don't know that that's accurate. I think they were doing that for clicks. I think politicians don't care. Like, I think for all the people that say Trump isn't a politician, he's a businessman, he does the most political things I've ever seen, like that they all do. Like he says one thing and then never acts on it. He makes promises, breaks them. Like he sure seems like a politician.
Hashtag no wars or what?
Exactly, right.
Yeah.
So like I think, come on, like he is definitely acting.
He's the peace king, Lori.
He's not the king of anything, in my opinion. But I just think, he is, it's not a Republican thing. It's not a Democratic thing. I do agree that it's a human issue. But I think we also live in a capitalistic society. So in order to you got to find a way to marry the two.
Now there was like a hidden, not gem, but hidden like red flag in this that I caught. Okay. And this is, again, if you're watching this video, hashtag our podcast, Build It Ain't Easy. Go watch it if you're a small business owner or if you run a business. But she said something pretty spicy in there. Her owner said, hey, go talk to this broker, and she ended up getting a subsidy. What happens with a lot of small business owners, they're like, oh yeah, go to the marketplace because we're not going to provide a group insurance plan. But if they reimburse, if they give her money, if this person, her employer, hypothetically gave her money and she takes a subsidy, that is a huge fine for the employer. Like they will find so much money. I'll drop
and
it.
They'll have to, she'll have to pay back.
And she'll have to pay back the
subsidy.
tax credit. Because you can't double dip. You can't take money. Like the tax credit is like the government is saying, hey, here's your household income. We're going to give you money to help. Like they're paying the carrier for you. That it's not nothing.
Nothing's free in this world.
And I caught that and I was like, oh
it.
my gosh, I hope on top of this that hopefully she was just getting a higher pay, but not like reimbursed on paper for this insurance, because that would be so much worse if she had to pay back the credit and the max out of pocket, and the business owner, they get racked thousands of dollars in fines because of this. So that's a hidden gem. If you're not gonna provide a group plan, okay, but you can't like double dip. Like an employee can't go to the marketplace, get a subsidy, and then you also pay for it on top of that subsidy out there. So pretty crazy. But Lori, what do we do here at the Benefits Boss? What do we do different? Like, how do we help people navigate these situations?
Well, I mean, just again, through education. Like you can't make an informed decision if you don't know what you're doing. And that's not there's no shame in that. Like I think back to when I had corporate plans, I definitely wasn't qualified to pick my family's plan. Like I had no idea what I was doing. And that's most people. So come and have a conversation and understand what different insurances mean and do, and the holes that are in your plan, and let's talk about supplemental coverage and just all of the things. Have a full, well-rounded conversation about it, because your situation is unique, and we aren't cookie cutter. We're not providing cookie cutter solutions. We're here to hear your situation and make it the best for you.
Yeah, it's really about getting, like, for her situation, making sure all those doctors are covered, make sure those meds are covered, make sure she has money to pay that $7,000 max out of pocket. And if there's a 20% rate increase, 30, because the enhanced credits went away, not all subsidies, make sure she has money to pay that. And she should be focusing on getting better, not dealing with, on top of that, the stress of insurance.
Here's the part that is like wild and frustrating. And again, I don't think that I'm a political person, but this feels like
You about to go political?
kind of, because I will have people say to me on a weekly basis, well, I'm just going to not work so I can get free healthcare then.
Ooh, that's a spicy take.
Or like, there was a girl this week, I'm just going to stop working one of my jobs so that my income will be at a level where I can get free healthcare. Like, that's now where people are going with this, because I have to believe that if the pricing was reasonable, people would want to do the right thing. But there are also going to be people that doesn't matter. Like, they just wouldn't want to pay for it at all. They don't think they should have to pay for it. They think it should be socialized healthcare. They think that we as taxpayers should cover it. That to me is crazy. And it's never been my way of life. But there are certainly people out there on both ends of that are just like.
Do you think it's both a conservative and a liberal thing where they'll flip back and forth between that ideology, or is it like one or the other?
Again, I don't know why it has to be one or the other. I think it's broke people. I think you probably have less broke Republicans, probably is my guess, and why that's the case. But I do think that it's I don't know. I don't know why everything has to be political.
I don't think it has, but let me just tell a quick story, like, to emphasize this point. So I took a call from Washington, right? They live in Washington. Washington's a really hard state.
Washington is the hardest state.
There are options there, but they're limited. And so this really sweet girl, she's probably in her 30s, and she's like, hey, we just like became self-employed, and I'm gonna make like $100K, but I'm on Apple Health, which is Washington's version of Medicaid. And she's like, I don't really know, like, they haven't reached out, and like I just feel really bad, like, and this is her word. She said Washington taxes I'm paraphrasing now, the frick out of us. Like, so I don't know, I feel conflicted. Like, should I report my income and lose this Apple Health, or should I should I not? And I'm like, it's totally up to you. Usually they check at the end of the year, so you can report it now, report it then. But marketplace plans, because you don't get a credit, are like $2,000 a month. Now in Washington, just pro hack, if you're healthy, there's things called health shares in Washington, which are memberships. They go based off of health, and they give you better deals. They're way more affordable. And so, but she was like super conflicted about that. And for my 12 years of insurance, the reason I asked the conservative liberal thing, and I'm not pointing it one way or the other, but a lot of the calls I've taken, just to be real, where people feel conflicted about taking the government's resources, have been conservative Christians. Just from like the 20, 30, 40 calls I probably dealt with this over like 12 years of this like specific situation. And the people who want to jump on the most, and I don't know if they're conservative or liberal, but they give more of a liberal vibe. And so I don't know if like there's a different theology of that. And I'm sure, I mean, I only have a very small sample size, but I do think it's more of a conservative thing to be like, I'm not going to take other people's resources. I'm going to go out. Is that a conservative thing or a capitalistic thing?
I mean, I would say that I'm pretty apolitical, but probably more liberal than any.
Do you agree with that? Like, if
I don't like to, like, I would not personally apply for Medicaid and write it out until they caught me. I just think that, like, I work hard to make sure that my family is provided for. I would want the resources to be there if something happened and I couldn't.
Yeah.
But I feel
you
like
don't want to like take advantage of it.
I feel like it's an abuse to take advantage of it. And I think that part of the problem, part of the reason that everything, and it's not all the reason, part of the reason everything is so screwed up is because there are so many people taking advantage and working the system. Mm-hmm. And you're part of the problem. Don't complain about it when you're as culpable because you're manipulating the system. I think that's wrong.
And that's why, like, just back to the insurance side, that's why so many carriers like drop out, because like it's essentially at some level they do bad stuff too. So it's not like this is a very gray topic, but they kind of get abused. Like, people finesse the system. They jump on, get a crazy amount of claims covered, or Medicaid covers all this stuff, and then they drop off. and now taxpayers are having to pay for it, or the subsidies are what the subsidies and the enhanced subsidies were like propelling the system. Like I don't know the exact numbers, but I saw this report like ACA enrollments were super down this last year because the enhanced
Nobody could
afford it, right? And so it's like it's kind of propped up and it's kind of set up like it's gonna have to crash out. Like it has to be able to like afford itself, you know, to like survive.
Well, I mean, just the bubble has to burst everywhere. Like the housing thing is crazy. Groceries are crazy. Gas is crazy. Like just, again, all of the things are so expensive that at some point the bubbles have to burst and we have to have like a reset because, you know, and I'm a person who I've never taken any sort of, like anything. I'm not subsidized. I pay full price for my health insurance. I pay a stupid amount of taxes because Texas taxes us really high. So I'm paying for daycare and resources and stuff that I'm never going to use, and I'm fortunate, but I feel like I'm fortunate and I have had blessings, so those should be given to people that actually need that help. Same thing with like I was listening to a podcast the other day where they were saying Social Security, like they call the generation that's happening right now that's about to hit Social Security, they call them the vampire generation because they never went to war.
So it's not baby boomers,
it's like right after baby boomers.
Whoa.
But like they never went to war. They really aren't of service to anyone. They're getting the most money. Like
who came up with the name vampire?
Well, I mean, if you think about it, vampire sucks from everybody else and doesn't. It's like a leech, right? So like that's why they're.
That's crazy.
And these are not my words. This is this person who has a dog in the fight, I guess, and just that they don't serve. They've like never been to war. They didn't really serve. They didn't have a draft, so they didn't have to serve, and so they all kind of chose not servitude. They're getting Social Security. They're drawing on Social Security, even though they're gaining the most. Like they already have the most money. So it's like, should they get Social Security? Probably not. Like, should you forego it if you don't need it and you've had blessings in your life that have allowed you not to need it? Yeah, that's probably the right thing to do. But how many people do it? None. Social Security probably will not be there when I'm Social Security aged. It for sure won't be when you are. Yeah. And so it's like, and your generation is like, they have the most suicide. They're the most depressed. They're the most obese. So it's like all of
the
this.
Millennials and Gen Z are down bad.
It's just like, it's all of this is the reason. Like it's all feeding into it. And
yeah, I feel like Social Security is kind of trapped. Like you're going to work for 40 years to get like $2-3 grand a month. Like,
well, but the logic is that by the end, you don't need that much money. Like your house is paid off. Your kids are out of the house. Like you don't have the same expenses. I think that's the logic. I mean,
I don't know. When I'm 60 and 70, I'm trying to go out, dude. Like I'm trying to go travel.
For sure.
Like, I don't want to like sit in a home all day.
But that's why you shouldn't collect it, because you have a lifestyle that you want to support, that you want. I don't know. I just think that all of it kind of feeds into each other. I do think there are people that take advantage of the system.
Yeah.
I think that's really unfortunate. I think that girl really should report her income and she should do what's right. I mean, I pay full price and pay for a stupid amount of health insurance. And part of it is because, and I understand, I have to be on an Obamacare plan because I had my critical illness diagnosis. I've got a period of time that I have to make it past that before I can be underwritten again. So like, I get it. I'm part of the system. I'm paying it. I'm not foregoing coverage. Like I would work more to make sure I stayed covered, because you can't be without coverage in this life. Christ, in my subdivision, and this is like freaking, these people are out of control. There have been 2 children struck by cars in my subdivision because everybody's in a rush and everybody's an a-hole. And like, you can't be without coverage. You cannot be one day without coverage in our world. So you just have to figure it out. It's crazy.
Crazy work. So spicy react video today, guys. Put down in the comments below if you agree. Are you conservative? Are you liberal? Do you think that theology relates, like who should pay for what?
Or what do you think about the people that are taking advantage of the system?
Yeah, are you team take advantage of the system, or do you not take advantage of the system?
And when you take advantage of the system, do you think you're part of the problem? Because you're making the debt go up. Somebody's paying for that, right?
Or do you just deal with it later? Do you procrastinate and deal with it later?
So,
or just leave America?
No. I mean, maybe.
Yeah, run it
I have some neighbors that moved to Portugal recently. So like,
that's what you said happened in New York with Mandami, right? Like you're not with Mandami and Well, that's
I don't even know what you're saying.
That's
to
the
me.
guy who became the mayor of
Yeah,
New
but
York.
what?
and
But what? I didn't say anything
he's
about
like-
this person.
I know. That's why I'm just trying to rattle you.
Yeah,
a little
no.
bit. Just trying to
So
rattle you.
I do have. I literally have a neighbor. You know her.
Yeah.
That they just moved to Portugal.
Yeah, they left America and moved to Portugal because they're fed up.
So I hear of people doing this, but wow.
Crazy
That's
work.
drastic.
But if you guys need a plan, link down below. We have agents ready to help out, navigate this craziness so you don't abuse the system and you pay for it. Just joking. But we'll see you guys on the next one.
Bye.
Later, guys.